On Saturday, Israeli warplanes launched a major air assault on the southern suburb of Retaliation in Beirut, Lebanon, targeting Hezbollah positions in a significant escalation of hostilities between the two sides. The Israeli strikes focused on several key Hezbollah infrastructure sites, including a weapons depot, a command center, and other facilities linked to the militant group. These sites were seen as critical to Hezbollah's military operations in Lebanon and have long been a target of Israeli defense strategies due to their strategic importance. The Israeli Defense Forces, IDF, took precautionary measures before the strikes by issuing evacuation warnings to civilians in the area. Residents were instructed to stay at least 500 meters away from the targeted sites to minimize civilian casualties. Retaliation is one of the most densely populated areas in southern Beirut and is considered a stronghold of Hezbollah, which has established a significant presence in the region. The airstrikes on this area are part of Israel's broader strategy to dismantle Hezbollah's infrastructure and limit the group's military capabilities. Despite the warnings, the challenges of conducting airstrikes in such a densely populated and highly fortified area are immense. Hezbollah has deep entrenchments in southern Lebanon, and many of its military assets are integrated into civilian infrastructure. This makes it difficult to target without posing risks to innocent lives. Given the ongoing conflict and the history of Israeli operations in Lebanon, these strikes have only intensified fears of further civilian casualties and damage to essential infrastructure in the region. The escalation comes after recent exchanges of fire between Hezbollah and Israel. Just before the airstrikes, Hezbollah reportedly fired at least 55 rockets into northern Israel, which caused significant damage to civilian and military infrastructure. The Israeli military responded with airstrikes, targeting Hezbollah positions in Lebanon, including the area around Retaliation. These exchanges marked a further intensification of the conflict, which has been simmering for weeks due to Hezbollah's increasing involvement in the region's military activities and the ongoing conflict between Israel and Palestinian groups. In addition to rocket fire, Hezbollah has also deployed drones, further complicating the security situation. These drones have been used to target Israeli military positions and infrastructure, leading to increased military vigilance and countermeasures from Israel. This drone warfare has added a new dimension to the ongoing conflict, raising the stakes for both sides as they navigate increasingly complex battlefield tactics. The airstrikes on Retaliation reflect Israel's broader strategy to weaken Hezbollah's military capabilities in Lebanon. Hezbollah, which is backed by Iran, has grown into a powerful regional player, posing a direct challenge to Israel's security, particularly along its northern border. Israel has long maintained that Hezbollah's military infrastructure in southern Lebanon presents a significant threat, and the airstrikes are a continuation of Israel's efforts to degrade the threat. Hezbollah, for its part, has vowed to respond to Israeli airstrikes, and its leaders have made it clear that they will not back down from defending their positions. The group has the ability to launch sophisticated missile strikes and deploy drones, which it has used to target Israeli military assets and civilian infrastructure in northern Israel. These strikes have not only caused material damage but have also raised concerns about the safety of civilians living near the front lines. The military actions on both sides reflect the broader context of the ongoing instability in the region, where Israeli actions in Gaza and Lebanon have sparked renewed hostilities with Hezbollah. The situation is further complicated by the involvement of Iran, which has supported Hezbollah's military capabilities and has become a key player in the broader Middle East conflict. Iran's backing of Hezbollah has heightened tensions between Israel and Iran, particularly as both nations engage in proxy conflicts in Syria, Iraq, and Yemen. As Israel and Hezbollah continue their military operations, the risk of further escalation remains high. Hezbollah's response to Israel's airstrikes is likely to include more rocket and drone attacks, further escalating the conflict. The fighting is likely to spill over into other parts of Lebanon and Israel, and the international community will continue to watch closely as the situation unfolds. The UN and other international bodies have urged both sides to exercise restraint and seek diplomatic solutions to avoid a larger conflict. However, the prospects for peace appear remote, given the entrenched positions of both sides and the ongoing military actions. The risk of broader regional instability remains high, as the conflict between Hezbollah and Israel intertwines with the wider Middle East crisis, involving multiple actors and interests. In the coming days, the likelihood of further military action from both sides remains strong. Hezbollah's leadership has made it clear that they will not tolerate Israeli airstrikes on their positions and will continue to target Israeli military assets in return. Meanwhile, Israel's airstrikes on Hezbollah's infrastructure will likely intensify as part of their strategy to neutralize Hezbollah's growing influence in southern Lebanon. The situation is increasingly fragile, and unless diplomatic efforts gain momentum, the region may face a prolonged and devastating conflict.